Welcome to XRP Focus. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day. Before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss important XRP updates. Your support truly helps this channel continue delivering clear and honest insights. The XRP community is buzzing with excitement and speculation as traders try to make sense of the possibility of a massive price surge by 2026. Tomorrow marks a highly anticipated event for XRP holders as Ripple prepares to release a significant escrow unlock. This scheduled release includes billions of XRP tokens, a figure large enough to influence both market sentiment and short-term price action. While a considerable portion of the tokens is expected to be immediately relocked, even a small percentage entering exchanges could create volatility and impact trading patterns. Traders and analysts alike are scrutinizing on-chain activity, tracking wallet movements, and assessing how supply dynamics could shift market behavior. Historically, escrow unlocks have been moments of high tension for the community, as sudden changes in circulating supply can trigger price swings in either direction. Every holder, whether experienced or new, understands that this is a critical juncture where supply, demand, and perception intersect. Market observers are analyzing the escrow release with precision, focusing on how much XRP will remain in wallets versus how much will flow to exchanges. A surge of tokens hitting exchanges could put downward pressure on the price, creating an opportunity for short-term traders but potential risk for long-term holders. Conversely, tokens that remain locked indicate confidence from Ripple and its partners, reinforcing the perception of long-term ecosystem strength. This duality makes the situation both complex and fascinating, as the market reacts not just to numbers but also to sentiment and narrative. Social media platforms are flooded with speculation, strategies, and commentary, highlighting how interconnected XRP's community is when it comes to major events like this. Forums, Twitter feeds, and chat groups are all tracking movements in real time, attempting to predict which way the market will lean once the unlock occurs. In addition to supply considerations, timing plays a significant role. The escrow unlock coincides with heightened attention from institutional investors who are monitoring liquidity, order books, and potential market trends. These participants often employ algorithmic strategies to respond to large-scale token movements, amplifying the effect of any unexpected supply changes. High trading volumes are expected and volatility could spike, creating both risks and opportunities for traders at all levels. Analysts warn that while the event is predictable in timing, the market reaction is never guaranteed, making this period one of the most closely watched moments in XRP's calendar. The escrow unlock also carries symbolic weight. Ripple designed these releases to be transparent, scheduled, and predictable, demonstrating a commitment to responsible tokenomics. This predictability builds confidence in the long-term strategy of XRP, but it does not eliminate the market's natural reaction to a large influx of tokens. Investors and holders must consider multiple factors, from market psychology to institutional behavior, as even the perception of new supply can influence trading decisions. The combination of these elements creates a dynamic environment where both data and sentiment matter, and where careful observation can yield important insights into potential price movements. Psychology plays an equally important role in the unfolding scenario. How the market perceives the unlock could determine the degree of accumulation or selling. If holders view the event as a sign of stability and confidence, it could encourage accumulation, reduce selling pressure, and signal long-term bullish momentum. On the other hand, unexpected token flows or misinterpretation of the unlock could create fear, uncertainty, and reactive trading, leading to price corrections. For XRP holders, understanding the interaction of supply, market psychology, and institutional involvement is crucial for navigating this moment. Technical analysis shows that XRP has repeatedly faced resistance near $2, a level that holds both psychological and strategic significance. The escrow unlock could act as a catalyst, either pushing XRP past this resistance or causing a temporary pullback depending on market conditions and the behavior of major holders. Traders are analyzing charts, support levels, and trading patterns, looking for clues that might indicate the direction XRP will take following the unlock. This attention to detail underscores the importance of the event, not just for short-term trading, but for shaping longer-term market sentiment. Ultimately, the upcoming escrow release is more than a routine token distribution. It represents a key moment where XRP's supply, market psychology, and institutional attention converge, creating an environment that could influence both immediate price action and long-term perception. Investors who watch carefully can gain insights not only into how XRP reacts in the short term, but also into broader trends, adoption signals, and community confidence. Between the sheer scale of the unlock, the involvement of institutional players, and the market's natural sensitivity to supply, this moment has all the elements of a high-stakes event. The weeks that follow could be defined by the market's reaction to this release, setting the stage for what may be one of the most closely monitored periods in XRP's history. While the escrow unlock is generating significant attention, the XRP community is also focused on the upcoming XRP Community Day, a pivotal event that often signals the next phase of Ripple's ecosystem development. These annual gatherings have historically provided updates on technological innovations, partnerships, and strategic plans, and traders and holders alike watch closely for cues on adoption, network growth, and future use cases. This year's event is expected to highlight XRPL enhancements, DeFi integration, and expanded interoperability, each of which has the potential to transform XRP into a more versatile and widely utilized asset. Analysts note that when Ripple showcases ecosystem developments, it not only impacts sentiment but also encourages accumulation among long-term holders who are betting on the network's real-world utility. Market participants are watching every rumor, announcement, and technical hint because Community Day often creates spikes in trading activity and volume, providing both opportunities and risks for those active in the market. One of the most anticipated aspects of the event is the potential rollout of XRPL features that expand programmability and smart contract functionality. For years, XRP has been known primarily as a cross-border payment solution, but the integration of smart contracts, DeFi lending protocols, and tokenized assets could elevate it into a multifunctional financial ecosystem. Analysts believe that these upgrades would not only attract retail traders, but also institutional investors, driving adoption and liquidity across the network. The prospect of DeFi capabilities on XRP has already generated excitement on social media, with discussions about lending, borrowing, yield generation, and tokenized finance gaining traction in forums and chat groups. Holders are evaluating how these potential enhancements could impact XRP's price, while developers are considering the broader implications for network scalability, security, and adoption. Ripple's roadmap updates during Community Day are also expected to shed light on strategic partnerships with banks, fintech companies, and global payment platforms. Past announcements have demonstrated that these collaborations can significantly influence market sentiment as they validate XRP's real-world utility and adoption potential. Institutional interest often follows these updates, with large investors evaluating network adoption metrics, transaction volumes, and integration success. For traders, these partnerships are not merely symbolic, they provide tangible indicators of XRP's ability to grow within the global financial ecosystem. Analysts emphasize that adoption signals often translate into sustained bullish momentum, as both retail and institutional participants position themselves ahead of anticipated network growth. In addition to technical upgrades and partnerships, XRP Community Day serves as a barometer for market confidence and long-term perception. Each announcement or technical demonstration influences not only trading decisions but also the broader narrative surrounding XRP. Social media sentiment is a critical factor in this process, as hype, speculation, and optimism can amplify the impact of even minor updates. Community engagement also reflects broader adoption trends, as developers, investors, and enthusiasts discuss potential use cases and ecosystem opportunities. The resulting interaction between technical developments, institutional participation, and market psychology creates an environment where the next wave of price movements is often shaped by both perception and fundamentals. Analysts are paying close attention to XRP's technical positioning in advance of Community Day, evaluating how upcoming announcements could influence resistance levels, support zones, and trading behavior, with key price thresholds such as $2 and $2.50 acting as psychological barriers. The community is trying to anticipate whether these updates will provide the momentum needed to surpass them or trigger temporary consolidation. Historical trends suggest that major announcements often correlate with short-term volatility, which presents both risk and opportunity for active traders. Even for holders taking a long-term view, understanding the potential implications of these updates is essential, as ecosystem developments often influence accumulation and selling behavior over time. The convergence of escrow releases, Community Day announcements, and ongoing technical development makes this period uniquely significant. Each factor interacts with the others, creating an environment where market sentiment, adoption signals, and network upgrades combine to influence both price action and broader perception. For XRP holders, the implications extend beyond short-term trading. They provide insights into the future trajectory of the network, its adoption potential, and its capacity to compete with other major cryptocurrencies. Analysts suggest that the weeks surrounding Community Day could set the tone for XRP's performance in the coming months, making careful observation and strategic positioning critical. Ultimately, XRP Community Day is more than an event. It is a window into Ripple's long-term strategy, its technological evolution, and its vision for real-world adoption. For holders, understanding the roadmap, technical upgrades, and potential partnerships is crucial to anticipating market behavior. The event's significance lies not only in announcements themselves, but also in how they interact with ongoing market dynamics, including escrow unlocks and institutional activity. By tracking these developments closely, investors can gain insights into the network's growth potential, adoption trends, and market sentiment, positioning themselves for both immediate opportunities and long-term strategic decisions. Beyond escrow unlocks and Community Day, the XRP ledger's technical advancements are generating significant attention among holders and traders, as they could reshape the token's utility and market perception. Ripple has been actively working on enhancements to the XRPL, including smart contract functionality, improved privacy features, cross-chain interoperability, and integration with decentralized finance protocols. These upgrades are not simply technical tweaks. They represent a major evolution of the network, potentially transforming XRP from a cross-border payment solution into a multifunctional financial ecosystem capable of supporting lending, borrowing, yield generation, and tokenized assets. For investors, the significance of these upgrades extends beyond speculative interest. They signal that XRP is positioning itself as a core infrastructure asset within both traditional finance and emerging digital finance sectors. The potential for DeFi adoption on XRP is particularly exciting. By enabling smart contracts and lending protocols, Ripple could allow holders to earn yield, participate in decentralized financial products, and interact with a broader ecosystem of assets. Analysts emphasize that these developments could attract both retail and institutional participants, increasing liquidity, network activity, and adoption. The introduction of lending and borrowing protocols on XRP would also create practical use cases, strengthening the token's real-world value proposition. Traders are monitoring these upgrades carefully, understanding that the ability to leverage XRP within DeFi platforms could influence accumulation trends, trading volume, and price stability. Social media channels and discussion forums reflect the growing anticipation as community members speculate about the potential for high-yield opportunities and ecosystem growth. Interoperability upgrades on the XRPL are also attracting attention. By enabling seamless integration with other blockchains, Ripple can expand liquidity pools, foster cross-chain transactions, and attract developers seeking a scalable and reliable platform. This technical evolution could reinforce XRP's role as a financial infrastructure token, appealing not only to crypto enthusiasts but also to institutional actors seeking efficient and compliant cross-border solutions. Analysts point out that such developments could encourage adoption at a scale that drives long-term valuation growth, creating a network effect that supports price stability while opening doors to innovative financial applications. The combination of XRPL upgrades, DeFi functionality, and interoperability enhancements creates multiple catalysts for market movement. Traders and holders are aware that these technical changes could amplify the impact of other ongoing events, such as escrow unlocks and Community Day announcements. For example, if smart contract capabilities are launched shortly after a major escrow release, it could provide a tangible reason for holders to retain tokens rather than sell, stabilizing price action and reinforcing positive sentiment. Similarly, the anticipation of DeFi adoption could drive accumulation as investors position themselves to benefit from future yield generation opportunities. These interactions between technical upgrades and market behavior highlight the complex dynamics influencing XRP's price and adoption trajectory. In addition to market implications, the technical upgrades carry symbolic significance. They demonstrate Ripple's commitment to innovation, adoption, and ecosystem expansion, signaling that the network is not stagnant but evolving to meet the needs of a broader financial landscape. For holders, these developments provide confidence in the token's long-term potential, reinforcing accumulation strategies and long-term holding perspectives. The psychological effect of these upgrades should not be underestimated, as investor sentiment often responds positively to visible technological progress, network expansion, and functional utility. Social media sentiment reflects this, with community discussions focusing on both the immediate trading implications and the longer-term vision for XRP as a multi-use financial asset. Analysts note that while speculative hype can drive short-term spikes, the combination of escrow events, community day announcements, and XRPL upgrades create structural factors that could support sustainable growth. The network's evolution, coupled with adoption signals and institutional interest, provides a strong foundation for long-term price appreciation, while simultaneously presenting opportunities for tactical trading during periods of volatility. Holders who monitor these developments closely gain insights not only into short-term market trends, but also into XRP's broader adoption narrative, technical strength, and potential to compete with other major blockchain networks. Ultimately, the XRPL's upgrades and DeFi expansion are central to understanding why XRP is attracting renewed attention and optimism. These technical enhancements create real-world utility, increase adoption potential, and reinforce long-term confidence in the token. When combined with other catalysts such as escrow releases and community-driven events, they form a layered framework that informs both market behavior and investor strategy. The weeks and months ahead could be defining for XRP, with the ledger's evolution potentially shaping its trajectory in a meaningful and lasting way. While escrow unlocks, community day announcements, and XRPL upgrades are driving excitement, one of the most influential forces shaping XRP's future is institutional adoption. Over the past year, hedge funds, crypto-focused investment firms, and financial institutions have increasingly recognized XRP as a high-utility digital asset with real-world applications. A key driver of this interest has been the introduction and growing adoption of XRP spot ETFs, which provide regulated exposure to the token and create new avenues for institutional investment. These products not only enhance liquidity but also confer credibility, attracting professional investors who prioritize regulatory certainty and market stability. Analysts note that the growing institutional footprint could provide a stabilizing influence on XRP's price, while simultaneously supporting medium to long-term upward momentum. For holders, this convergence of factors reinforces the perception that XRP is more than a speculative asset. It is a strategically positioned token with tangible adoption potential. ETF inflows are particularly significant because they represent confidence from sophisticated market participants who employ rigorous analysis before allocating capital. Institutions tend to hold positions longer than retail traders and often use strategic mechanisms to manage risk, meaning that large-scale inflows can support price stability and reduce short-term volatility. The presence of institutional money also enhances network credibility, signaling to the broader market that XRP has earned recognition as a legitimate and functional digital asset. Analysts emphasize that institutional interest, combined with technical upgrades and escrow dynamics, creates a multi-layered foundation that supports both price resilience and growth potential. Social sentiment mirrors this, with discussions emphasizing the strategic value of XRP ETFs, the reliability of adoption metrics, and the broader implications for market confidence. Regulatory clarity is another crucial element influencing XRP's outlook. Following the resolution of Ripple's SEC lawsuit in 2025, the token now enjoys a clearer legal framework compared with many other cryptocurrencies, which remain under ongoing scrutiny. This regulatory certainty allows institutions to invest with less perceived risk, creating an environment where adoption can accelerate without the same level of legal hesitation that plagues other tokens. Analysts highlight that a predictable and compliant framework encourages participation from professional investors while simultaneously reassuring retail holders. The combination of regulatory clarity, institutional inflows, and XRP's technical evolution positions the token for potential growth that is both sustainable and strategically grounded. Market participants are also monitoring Ripple's ongoing partnerships with banks, fintech firms, and payment providers. These collaborations reinforce the token's utility as a cross-border settlement solution and validate XRP's role in the global financial ecosystem. Analysts point out that each partnership not only expands XRP's real-world use cases, but also attracts additional liquidity, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of adoption and network growth. Traders consider these developments critical when evaluating the token's medium to long-term potential, while holders view them as indicators of XRP's resilience and value. Social media discussions echo this sentiment, highlighting the intersection of institutional recognition, technological capability, and real-world integration as key drivers of confidence in XRP's trajectory. While sensational claims of XRP reaching $2,000 by 2026 circulate widely on social media, mainstream analysis presents a more measured outlook, typically projecting prices in the $5 to $12 range under optimistic conditions. Extreme forecasts capture attention and drive engagement but are not supported by professional price modeling or market fundamentals. That said, the combination of escrow releases, community day updates, XRPL upgrades, and institutional adoption creates a rare alignment of catalysts that could drive meaningful price movement. Traders and holders who track these developments understand that the token's trajectory is shaped not just by speculation, but by concrete adoption, technological progress, and professional investment activity, making this an unusually dynamic period for XRP. Analysts emphasize that the interaction of these factors creates both short-term volatility and long-term potential. Escrow unlocks influence circulating supply, community day announcements affect sentiment and expectations, XRPL upgrades expand utility, and institutional participation provides liquidity and confidence. Together, these elements form a complex ecosystem of catalysts, each reinforcing the other, with the potential to shape XRP's market behavior for months to come. Understanding these dynamics is critical for holders who wish to make informed decisions, whether that involves strategic accumulation, portfolio rebalancing, or long-term holding. In conclusion, the combination of institutional interest, ETFs, regulatory clarity, and ongoing technical and ecosystem developments positions XRP for a period of heightened attention and potential growth. While extreme predictions like $2,000 are unrealistic under current fundamentals, the convergence of escrow events, community day revelations, XRPL upgrades, and institutional adoption creates a powerful framework for both short-term market activity and long-term strategic positioning. For holders, traders, and enthusiasts, this period represents not only an opportunity to observe market dynamics in real time, but also a chance to understand how adoption, technology, and professional involvement can collectively influence the trajectory of one of the most closely watched cryptocurrencies in the world. The weeks and months ahead are likely to define XRP's path, setting the stage for a new chapter in its adoption, utility, and market relevance.